Okay, last week we started this lesson. I hope everybody can see this one. System development. The lesson is, that means this is regarding what are the things we are going to do when we are going to develop a computer system or computer application for an organization. මොනාද අපිට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ computer application එකක් organization එකට හදනකොට. That's the thing what we were discussing about. So the system development life cycle, this is the definition. Then we talk about there are some phases or stages that we have to go through when we are going to develop a computer application or computer system, or briefly we can say a system for an organization. So these are the stages. Then we talk about the problem definition stage, what we are going to do at this stage. Then the feasibility study. Under the feasibility study, we talk about 4 types of feasibilities: technical feasibility, economical feasibility, legal feasibility, and operational feasibility. For the feasibility study, if I take another type of example, right? It's not really from the information technology. In order to clarify this feasibility areas: technical, economical, legal, and operational. Let's say, students, if you are going to build a restaurant, right, at a river bank, you have a land, there's a river, you have a land at the river bank, it's very close to the river. Then you hope to build a small, let's say small hotel at that place, right? Then first of all, you are going to start, you are going to undergo this feasibility study. Then first you are going to check the technically, is it feasible? Technically, right? Can I build? Is this soil is good to build a hotel? If it is a marshy land, you know that, right? You can't build a hotel. Then you are going to check, right, other facilities. The technically, right, do you have the equipments? Then do you have the other required materials to build this restaurant? Then if it is okay, you are going to check whether it is feasible or not economically, right? You have a design, you have a plan of the hotel. Then you are going to check your budget, right? If let's say if it costs 30 million rupees, right, then you are going to check whether you have the sufficient fund to build this hotel. If it is okay, right, the economical feasibility is okay. ඒ කියන්නේ economically ඔයගලන්ට කරන්න පුළුවන් එක, right? සල්ලි තියෙනවා මේකදී බලනවා ළමයි, right? Sometimes you might have the cash on your hand, or you can take the loans. So under the economical feasibility, you are going to check how much of a loan you can get from the bank, whether you can pay the installments for the loan or not, right? So economical feasibility. Then next one is, right, legal feasibility. Is it legally okay to build a hotel near this river, right? Then you have to check the legal side, right? First of all, you have to check the deed of this land, right? Make ඔප්පුව පිරිසිදු නැද්ද කියලා deed එක බලන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ then you have to check how much of a distance you have to keep from the river bank. River bank එකේ ඉඳලා කොච්චර දුරකින් මේක තියන්න ඕනද කියලා. මොකද you have to check it from the irrigation department, right? Sometimes whether you may like to build this house close to the river, but there is a reservation, let's say for example 40 feet. 40 feet reservation you have to keep. Then you can't, legally it is not possible to build your hotel at this place. Then you have to keep a 40 feet reservation and you have to take it to here. Now it's legally possible. On legally පුළුවන් ද බැයිද කියලා එක check කරා. Then next one is operational feasibility, right? Can you do this operationally? Do you have a good road to get the stuff which required to develop this hotel? මේ hotel එක හදන්න ඕන materials, right? ගේන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඒකට තියනවාද පාරක්, right? Electricity තියනවාද? You have electricity, right? Then even after building this hotel, do you have a staff, trained staff to run the operations? Do you have technical staff to maintain this hotel, right? Even if you are okay with technical, economical, legal feasibility, right? Sometimes it's not suitable if you think of under the operational feasibility, right? You don't have required resources to operate this hotel. මේ හින්දා තමයි operational feasibility එක බලන්නේ. සමහර students, right? Few from these 4 areas, 1 or 2 may be okay, but sometimes the others are not okay. For example, right, you might it is okay the technically, right, you have required resources to develop this one. Economically you have money. Operationally it's okay, but the legally sometimes, right, you can't build any construction, you can't do any constructions here close to this river. So then it's legally not possible. Maybe the similar way, if you are going to develop a computer application for your organization, you have to check whether it's technically possible, right? That means required equipments are there in your organization, and required knowledge is there, and you can get the other infrastructure facilities for that computer application. Then it's technically. Then economically, do you have enough fund to develop that computer application or computer system? Then legally, all the features are legal, right? None of the features infringe any law, any prevailing law of the country. කිසිම feature එකක් ඒ computer system එකේ තියෙන ලංකාවේ තියෙන නීතිය හානි කරන්නේ නැද්ද? ඊට පස්සේ then operationally, even after developing your system, computer system, do you have skilled staff to maintain that information system? So that's what we are going to search through this feasibility study. Then system analysis, we talk about this one, this stage, and the person who does this analyzing part, we call him system analyst. Then after analyzing the system, several type of documents are created. For example, one is this one, data flow diagram. I explained this one. Then after the system analysis stage, we are going to system design stage. Actually, at this stage, we check the requirements of the system we captured from the previous stage. System analysis stage එකෙන් අපි capture කරගත්ත requirements මොන වගේ system එකක්ද හැදෙන්න ඕන, මොනවාද දැනට තියෙන එකේ අඩුපාඩු, ඒව නැති වෙන්න නම් කොහොමද system එක හැදෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. Then at this stage, you are going to design the system. For example, before you make a house or a hotel, right, you are going to analyze what kind of features should be there in your hotel, right? What kind of services you are going to do from your hotel, by your hotel. Then according to those things, those requirements, you are going to develop the structure of the hotel. For example, if you want to have a swimming pool, right, there is a requirement for a swimming pool, right? Then, right, you are going to decide, right, in the design, you are going to add a swimming pool. Then likewise, after capturing the requirements, after getting all the requirements, the architect is going to design your hotel, right? Design the sketch. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා ඔක්කොම requirements ටික අරගෙන IT එක්කෙනාගෙන් අහලා එහෙම නැත්නම් stakeholders ලාගෙන් stakeholders ලා කියන ළමයි මොකක් හරි project එකකට involve වෙන හරි එකෙන් තව මොකක් හරි බලපෑමකට ලක් වෙන හරි කට්ටිය. අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම hotel project එකකට stakeholders ලා කීප දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා, sponsors ලා කීප දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේම ඒකේ ඉන්න hotel එකේ manager, ඒ කියන්නේ project එක බලපාන කීප දෙනෙක්ම ඉන්නවා. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ideas අරගන්නවා requirements ගන්නකොට ඒකෙන් තමයි design එක හදන්නේ. hotel එකක් හදනවා නම් architecture එක, right? අවශ්‍ය කරන hotel එකේ design එක architect design කරන්නේ මේ විදිහට. Even right, it's similar way, in similar way for computer applications we are going to design, right? System designer does that part. Or sometimes also we call, even in the computer world, IT world, system architect. Then at the designing stage, several documents are prepared. Actually, a lot of documents are prepared. For example, this is ER diagram, entity relationship diagram. Actually, you don't know about this one. For the time being, please keep remember, this is an example of the document we prepare at the design stage. Now we have the design on our hand. Right. Then we are going to develop the system, right? We talk about this one by using a computer language. We are going to develop the system. According to the design, we are going to develop the system. Then after that, after developing the system, you know, the system, a complete system is not developed by at once. එක සැරේ ඔක්කොම ටික develop කරන්න. We are going to develop the system module by module. For example, for a bank, right, we develop system for the different requirements, module by module. For example, making the creating the account, right? We are going to create an accounts creation module. From that module, we can create savings account, current account, like that. For the loan department, we are going to develop another module to operate in the loan department. Then credit card department, another module. Then finally, we are going to add all modules together and complete the system. So then last week I explained this one, right? After developing the modules and the system, we are going to do two types of testing. One is integration testing. It says after completion of unit test of all the modules are combined and tested, right? ඇත්තටම ළමයි මේකට මේ තව කොටසක් එන්න ඕනේ. මේකේ තියෙන integration testing and acceptance testing කියලා. මේ තියෙන්නේ development වල තියෙනවා then are to be tested individually කියලා. ඊට ඉස්සෙල්ලා තව testing එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක තමයි unit testing, right? First it comes this one, unit testing. Because we are going to develop the system unit by unit. For example, for a hotel, front office system, then housekeeping system, another computer system for the restaurant, another one for the HR department, right? Likewise. Then after creating these separate units, we test individually whether this one is working correctly or not, this one is working correctly or not. If we find errors, in computer terminology we call them bugs, right? Bugs කියලා කියනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ errors වලට මොන හරි program එකේ, right? We are going to correct them at this stage, unit testing, right? Then you test every unit is okay, working fine. individually, right? Separately, they are working nicely. Then you are going to test what would happen if you combine them, front office with housekeeping. What would happen? That's the integration testing. What would happen if you combine these, whether they are working correctly or not. If you find any errors, you are going to correct them. Then after that, right, you are going to integrate the other part also, this one. Now you are going to find this integration testing. Now you have integrated 3 separate units: front office, housekeeping, and HR. It's working fine. Working fine now. ඊළඟ step එකත් ඉස්සරහට යනවා, නැත්නම් තියෙන වැරද්ද බලලා හදා ගන්න. Then you are going to finally combine the last one, restaurant unit also, and you are going to do a complete integration testing again. Right. So then after that, right, now the system is working. It's fine. Without any errors, it's working. Then another type of testing is there. We call it acceptance testing. Right. Technically, the system is okay. IT people will tell you, right, it's working really, really fine without a single error, right? So then you will say it's okay, but we have to test, right, with our users. So we call it acceptance testing. This one. The users, actual users of this system. That means if you have created this one for a hotel, the hotel's users, right? Receptionist, front office executive, HR manager, HR people, restaurant people, right? They are going to work with this system and check whether all the requirements of them are fulfilled by this system or not. මේ system එකත් එක්ක ඒගොල්ලෝ වැඩ කරලා බලනවා ළමයි. ඒගොල්ලන්ට අවශ්‍ය කරපු හැම දෙයක්ම මේ system එකේ වෙනවද කියලා. එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මොකක් හරි තැනක ප්‍රශ්නයක් තිබ්බොත් එහෙම, right? ආයි කියනවා මෙතනට මෙන්න මෙහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා කියලා IT developers ලාට කියනවා IT unit එකේ. එතකොට මේක ඩෙවලොප් කරන කම්පැනියේ ඒගොල්ලෝ රෙස්පොන්සිබිලිටි එක තියෙනවා ඔයගලන්ට මොන හරි එරර්ස් තියෙනවා නම් ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා හදලා දෙන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ එතකොට සිස්ටම් එක ඇඩ්ජස්ට් කරලා දෙනවා ඒ විදියට. Then the last one is implementation. Right now all the testings have been done and you have made sure that the system is working properly. Then the users also, they have also accepted. Now you have to implement the system practically. Right? At this moment, still you are using the manual system. Manual system. Now the software or the system has been created and tested. It's okay. Now we are going to implement it, that system, practically in the organization. At this stage, it says installing the developed and well-tested software in client side. Right. The IT people, IT organization created this one. They tested modules, they tested the integration, they integrated the system and tested, and they got it tested from the users from the hotel. Now it's ready to implementation. Now they are going to install, right? Install in client side, right? Hotel එකේ තියෙන computers වලට දැන් install කරනවා ඇවිල්ලා. Front office එකේ එකට එක, restaurant එකේ එකට install කරනවා මේ module එක, HR එකේ එකට මේ module එක, right? Housekeeping එකට ඒකේ module එක. ඊට පස්සේ මේක integrate කරාමත් වැඩ කරානේ. දැන් right wire ටික connect කරලා ඉවරලා section integrate උත් කරනවා. Network එක හරහා integrate කරනවා system. Right. So that's the thing which is done under the implementation. Implementation එක කරන කම්ම මේ system එක කොහෙද තිබ්බේ ළමයි? IT organization එක. Right? Your IT partners, because you selected that IT organization to develop that system. The system was there in their place. Now they are going to install it in your place. Then what are the important activities? After installing the system on the computers, they are going to do this one also, user training, right? How to enter the data, how to get the report, right? How to handle some issues, right? They are going to train you how to work with the system. They are going to train you. Then at this stage, students, normally they create user manuals, right? They are going to here, they give you not only the system, right? They go system එකක් දෙනවා plus training. With this training, they are going to provide you user manual. User manual includes all the directions to work with this system, how to operate this system. Then system conversion, replacing an existing system with a new system, right? For example, students, some organizations, they might have manual system, right? They never had a computerized system. So therefore, you are going to develop a completely new computerized system. But some organizations, they have been using a computer system, right? Not a manual system. Some organization, right? They have been using there is an organization, they have been using a computer system. Then you may wonder, if they have been using a computerized system, why they are going to make another system? There may be a reason. With the previous system, right? The existing system, there may be problems. Or existing system is obsolete, paranai. දැන්ට තියෙන එක පරණයි. ඒකෙන් වැඩ කරගන්න බෑ. හරිම slow මොන හරි errors එනවා ඒක. Right? Or the existing system does not contain the new requirements of the organization. ඉස්සර මේ organization එක hotel එකක් කියමුකෝ, for example hotel එකට system එක enter කරන කාලේ hotel එකේ separate restaurant එකක් තිබ්බේ නැහැ. Only the rooms were there. Now hotel has a separate restaurant. So you need to have a system, computer system for this restaurant, right? Then you have to create a new system for that restaurant and integrate it with the existing system, right? Then you know there may be two conditions. One condition is, right, by this moment the organization does not have a computerized system. They are doing everything manually. For example, ATI, right? Then the organization is going to create a computer system. Another condition is organization has been using a computerized system, but it may be slow. There may be problems with that system, or that system can't cater for the new requirements, right? On no condition, right? Alu system එකක් හදන්නේ ඒ හින්දා. ඊට පස්සේ හරි දැන් හැදුව එක දාන්න ඕනේ. එක්ක මැනුවල් තියෙන සිස්ටම් එකේ මැනුවල් කරන එක නවත්තලා කෙලින්ම කම්පියුටරයිස් කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ වගේ සිටුේෂන් එක කම්පියුටරයිස් සිස්ටම් එකක් තිබ්බ තැනකට හැදුවා නම් ඒ තිබ්බේ සිස්ටම් එකේ ප්‍රශ්න තිබ්බ නිසා අපිට දැන් ඒ පරණ සිස්ටම් එක අයින් කළා අලුත් සිස්ටම් එක ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරන්න ඕනේ. Right. How we can do that one? That's the thing. Right. Then there are 4 ways of implementing system. The first one is direct implementation. It says entire system is replaced with the new system in one step. I'll explain. Next one is parallel implementation. Both new and old systems are executed in parallel for a certain defined period of time. Results of the old system can be compared with the results of the new system. Failure of the new system at the early stage does not affect the working of the organization because the old system continues, right? Before we talk about this one, let's move to this one. direct implementation says entire system is replaced with the new system in one step, right? Here, for example, අපි මේ දෙකම දාලා බලමු conditions, right? අයි අපි අලුත් system එකක් හදන්නේ ළමයි. එකක් තමයි අපේ organization එකේ මේ දක්වා computerized system එකක් තිබ්බේ නෑ. හැමදේම කරේ manually. Next condition එක මොකක්ද? Right. අපිට තිබ්බ computerized system එකක්. System is there. System එකක් තිබ්බා. හැබැයි ඒකේ problems තිබ්බා. ඒ හින්දා අපි අලුත් එකක් හැදුවා. එතකොට අපි බලමු right implementation. දැන් අලුත් එකක් හදලා අපි implement කරන්න යනවා. මේ condition දෙකෙන් මොන condition එක තිබ්බ organization එක උනත් අපි අලුත් system එකක් implement කරනකොට install කරනකොට right implement කරනකොට there are 4 ways of implementing. The first method is we call it direct cutover or previously direct implementation. The other name is direct implementation. Here we have been using all system for a long period of time. Then we made another system, new system. Now from a certain day, we completely stopped the previous system and we move to the new one, right? හිතන්න මේක ළමයි අවුරුදු දැන් 10ක් තිස්සේ පරණ සිස්ටම් එක පාවිච්චි කරගෙන ආවා. හරි? ඊට පස්සේ දැන් අලුත් සිස්ටම් එකක් හැදුවා. මේ අලුත් සිස්ටම් එක ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ කම්පියුටර්ස් වලට දානවා. මේක දාද්දි කොහොමද කරන්න පුළුවන්? එක මෙතඩ් එකක් තමයි පරණ සිස්ටම් එක නවත්තනවා එක තැනකින්. right. අපි හිතමු ඩේට් එකක් දෙනවා 1st 4th 2020. We stopped using the previous system and now we install the new system and we start new system. Normally, right, let's say we stop the system at 1st of April 2022, then we need some time to implementation, right? අපි හිතමු implementation වලට 4 days ගත්තා කියලා. Then we are going to start the new system from the 5th of April 2022. That's a one method. අපිට එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන්. Students, do you think for a bank kind of an organization, this implementation method is suitable? Can you stop the functions of the bank, right? And move to another new system? No, you can't do this one, right? මොකද බැංකුවගේ ගනුදෙනු කරන තැන්වල ළමයි පරණ සිස්ටම් එක තිබ්බ කියලා ඒක එකපාරට නවත්තලා දවස් දෙක තුනක් නිකන් ඉන්න බෑ අලුත් සිස්ටම් එක දානකම්. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඔපරේෂන් එක දිගටම යන්න ඕනේ. ඒ හින්දා බැංක් එකකට වගේ තැනකට මේක suitable නෑ. But for ATI, if you take for example, right, yes, we can stop our functions for 4 to 5 days and we can start after implementing the new system. Right, then the next one is parallel implementation. Both new and the old systems are executed in parallel for a certain defined period of time. Results of the old system can be compared with the results of the new system. Failure of the new system at the early stage does not affect the working of the organization. For a bank kind of an organization, this method is suitable. The reason is, right, this is the second method, parallel implementation. You are going to use both systems for a certain period of time, right? The new system is here, right? You are going to implement the new system, operate the new system, but you still use the old system as well. For example, for a 3 months of a period. දැන් මාස 3ක කාලයකට ඔයගොල්ලෝ පරණ එකත් රන් වෙන ගමම්ම අලුත් එකත් implement කරනවා කරලා run කරනවා. හරි. දැන් මේකේ තියෙන හොඳ තමයි ළමයි එකක් operations stop වුණේ නැහැ. Give me 1 minute. The advantage of this method is while using the new system, you can still use the earlier system. Another advantage is, first advantage is doing so, right, will help you to continue your operation. For example, bank, it's suitable, right? You can't continue your operation without stopping. Then the other advantage is, let's say there may be problems with new system, right? There may be errors with new system, or there may be some conflicts for the users with new system. මේ අලුත් system එකේ errors තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, සමහරට ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්න පුළුවන් අලුත් users වලට. Sometimes the new users new system, the users can't work with new system because of it's not familiar to them. ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුරුදු නැති හින්දා සමහර වෙලාවට මේ අලුත් system එකත් එක්ක වැඩ කරගන්න බෑ. එතකොට ඒ වගේ වෙලාවක ළමයි running the old system will help to continue your operation of the organization. So that's why we use this method sometimes, right? Then the third one, pilot operation. What's the description for that one? It says also some part of the new system is installed first and executed successfully for considerable time period. In this method, here pilot operation, in this method some part of the system is a new system is operated. Then after that, if it is successful, you can make sure the new system is okay without any fear. Now we can move to the new system, right? අපි උදාහරණයකට ගමු. For example, right, this is the front office part. Front office application of the new system you are going to use, this one, right? Then, right, you may identify it's okay, it's running perfectly. Then you can make sure other parts also will run correctly. You think like that, and then you can implement the other parts and you can migrate to the new system totally. So that's the pilot operation. The other one, the fourth type, is phased operation. What's the description for that one? The new system is introduced in step by step. For example, first you are going to implement which part? Front office part. For the other sections, still running the old system, whether it can be manually or computerized system, your old system, right? ඔයගලගේ manual system එකේ ඉතුරු ටික run වෙන එක කෑල්ලක් විතරක් අලුත් system එකෙන් run කරලා බලනවා. front office ඒ ටික run වෙනවා නම් ආදායම් දිගටම ඒක ඒ විදිහට තමයි අලුත් system එකෙන් තමයි front office section එක run වෙන්නේ. Then after a certain period of time, then you are going to implement another module. For example, housekeeping one, housekeeping module. Then you check it's working correctly or not. Right, it's working correctly. Then now you don't need the housekeeping part of the previous system. Then housekeeping එක පරණ එකේ ඕනේ නැහැ. මෙතනදී නම් front office එක ඕන උන්නේ නැහැ, පරණ එක අයින් කළානේ. Right. ඊට පස්සේ then you are going to add the other part also. Other part is, for example, HR department. Right? You are going to use the new system. Likewise, students, one by one, module by module, you can implement the new system, right? All system is still running, but you implement one by one the module of new system, and you are going to remove the all systems part. ඒක තමයි එහෙනම් phased operation එකෙන් කරන්නේ. Right. If you have any questions regarding the things I am explaining, please raise it. Right. You know, any system needs maintenance. After installing the system, right, you can't get away from that system. Right? You can't get away of keep watching that system. A system එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ install කරායින් පස්සේ පැත්තකට වෙලා ඔයගලන්ට ඉන්න බෑ. Right? ඔයගලන්ට ඉන්න බෑ without considering the system's issues. So there may be some issues. So that's why, right, maintenance section is there. Maintenance stage is there. So it says review of the system from time to time. Eliminate errors in the system during its working life, right? You know, once the system starts to work, right, there may be some errors. Technical errors may be there, definitely, or the user's errors may be there. So then you have to handle that one, right? You have to maintain the system. Then tune the system to any variations in its working environment, right? Sometimes, for example, let's say you purchase new hardware, right? But your system has been installed on previous hardware, old hardware. Previously, you had all type of computers. Now your organization recently organization has purchased latest computers. Then you have to install the new system on that new computers and connect them together, right? So in such a situation, it comes under the maintenance. අලුතෙන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ computers වගේ machines වගේ කරන් තියෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා, right? ඒවට install කරගන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට maintenance කියන stage එක ඒකට බලපානවා. එතකොට ළමයි මේක life cycle එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ අපියි, right? Why we call this a system development life cycle, SDLC. The reason is this one, right? Let's say you have a hotel. Okay. Hotel has several sections. One is definitely front office. For example, again, housekeeping. And the other one is HR department, human resource department. Right. Now the hotel does not have a system, computerized system. So therefore you are going to make a computerized system. First stage is you are going to this problem definition. You find whether there's a problem or not. Yes, you have a problem. The reason the problem is, students, you are using a manual system or you have an existing system, but it's very slow. It makes errors. It doesn't cater for the new requirements of the customers, right? So then you need a new system, right? You find what are the problems. Then you are going to do the feasibility study. Can you remember this one? Technical, economical, operational, right? And legal. Hello, කියලා කිව්වහම මතක තියාගන්න ලේසි. Whether it's feasible or not under these 4 categories. Yes, it's feasible. You can go ahead. You can proceed the new system implementation. Then you are going to the system analysis stage. At the system analysis stage, you are going to capture the requirement. What kind of things you are doing at this moment in this hotel? What kind of things are done at front office? What kind of things are done at housekeeping? What kind of things are done at HR department? Then in the new system, what kind of features should be there? Or what kind of ability to be there with the new system? මොනවාද හැකියාවන් තියෙන අලුත් සිස්ටම් එකේ, right? users ලා enter කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ, front office එකේ guests ලාගේ reports අරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ, guests කෙනෙක්ව enter කරන්න register කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ, housekeeping එකේ මොන හරි තියෙන materials order කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ, HR department එකේ salary එක හදා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ එක එක employees ලගේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ OT calculate වෙන්න ඕනේ right a lot of features are there so you are going to find what kind of requirements are there at this stage system analysis එක කරන්නේ system analyst ඊට පස්සේ system design එක අලුත් system එක design කරනවා software development by using a computer language or using several computer languages you are going to develop then after that test under the test unit testing is there integration testing is there user testing is there user acceptance right now it's okay then you are going to implement under the implement you are going to train the users then after that you are going to maintain when you find some errors or issues technical issues you are going to maintain then why this becomes a system development life cycle the reason is this let's say student now you have implemented the system it's working fine nicely now you are going to open after a few 1 year or after a few months after installing this system right few months later you are going to open a restaurant now another section is there in your hotel restaurant but the thing is now you don't have a system for the restaurant you have made the system for this department but now this was a newly built one you don't have a system then what can I do what can you do then you have to develop a system for restaurant then can you stop at this maintenance stage no this is a new requirement then you are going to find the problem definition for the requirement of restaurant දැන් restaurant එකට system එකක් හදන්න යන්නේ එතකොට මේ restaurant එකට හදන්න යන system එකේ problem definition එක බලන්න ඕනේ feasibility study right whether it's feasible or not under the technical feasibility student there is another area now right under the technical feasibility you can check after developing this restaurants application can you integrate with this previous application මේ තුනට අපි හදලා තිබ්බ application එකත් එක්ක right restaurant application එක අලුතෙන් හදන එක එකතු කරන්න පුළුවන්ද නැද්ද technical feasibility එකේදී ඒකත් බලන්න ඕනේ ඇයි නැත්තම් අපරාධෙනේ මේක හදලා වෙනම තියන්න බෑනේ ඊට අමතරව අනිත් ඒවා ඔක්කොම සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්න ඕනේ technically පුළුවන්ද equipments තියනවාද ඒ වගේද economically right සල්ලි තියනවාද මේක හදන්න ඒක legally is it okay operationally right whether it's possible or not right then it's okay then system analysis stage that means you are going to capture the requirement of restaurant what kind of features should be there in the system then you are going to design the system you are going to develop the system means right for the restaurant දැන් අරක හදලා ඉවරයිනේ ඒක ඔපරේට් උත් වෙවි තියෙනවනේ අවුරුද්දක් මාස ගානක් තිස්සේ restaurant එකේ කෑල්ල මේ කියන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ ඒක ටෙස්ට් කරනවා implementation කරනවා implementation එකේදී මොකද වෙන්නේ ළමයි මේක ඉස්සෙල්ලා තිබ්බ system එකට දැන් අලුත් එක attach කරන්න වෙනවා මෙතනදී නම් implement කරනකොට restaurant එකට implement කරලා වෙනම තියන්නත් පුළුවන් you have to keep it separately but it's not usable no much usable if you keep it separately if you integrate with the entire system right it will be nice then now you have a system with these 4 modules දැන් ඔන්න අලුත් system එකක් ඇදලා තියෙන්නේ right එහෙනම් මේකෙටත් maintenance කියන එක තියෙනවා එහෙනම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ බලන්න මේක life cycle එකක් නෙමෙයිද කියලා ඉස්සෙල්ලා පළවෙනි system එක හදනකොට මේ department 3යි විතරයි තිබ්බේ ඒකට හදනකොට මේ ටිකේම ආවා මේ ටිකේ පල්ලෙහාට මෙහෙම ඇවිල්ලා right maintenance stage එකේ ඉන්නකොට we got another requirement restaurant application for the restaurant then what we did we moved to the first stage again to develop an application to the restaurant. Then to develop application for the restaurant, we came under these all stages, all 8 stages. Circle, a circle, right? Then if you get another one, let's say after a certain period of time, you need an online reservation system. Online reservation system, right? Then what you have to do is to develop this one, you have to move to the first stage and you have to come from first stage to the last stage, right? For this online reservation system. So this is the system development life cycle. Right. Then what are the problems in systems development? You may come across some sort of problems. Problems are there. Anywhere problems are there, right? So therefore, even in this system development, you may find problems. First one is estimating cost and time, right? You estimate for these 4 modules: housekeeping, front office, HR, restaurant, right? To develop the system covering all these areas, 4 areas, you estimated 10 million, right? But when you start, after starting this project, right, at the middle stage of project, right, you may find this money, allocated cost is not enough, right? You may find, you can then now presume, right, it will be about 15 million, for example. It will be about 15 million when you finish this system, right? When you at the stage you complete this system, it will cost about 15 million. So there is a problem. Estimating problem is there. In this kind of situation, students, the crisis situation, right? It's very difficult to estimate the things, right? Because the today's price is not tomorrow, right? After 1 week, it will be about twice or thrice. Cost estimation. Then the other one is time estimation. You may think, right, to develop the system, it will enough 6 months, right? But you may find some problems when you start completing the system. Then you may find it will take about 10 months, like that. So the next one is selecting a project team. That's a difficult one. Another one, selecting a proper project team, right? You know, for a hotel kind of an organization, if you are going to select a project team, majority of the project team is from IT organization, because system analyst, system designer, right, the developers, the implementing person, all people are there from IT department, IT organization. Then I explained you last week, right, why you are going to learn, what's the importance of learning information technology. Under that one, I explained you people from the hotel organization side also are appointed with this project team. එහෙනම් IT people ඉන්නවා, hotel එකකිනුත් ඉන්නවා. මේ දෙගොල්ලොම එකතු වෙලා තමයි project team එක හදන්නේ. This is the project team. Right. When selecting a project team, sometimes, let's say, right, if the IT organization has appointed wrong people, these people, they don't have a tiny knowledge, right? A small knowledge about the hotel operations, right? Then it's difficult to work with them. For another problem, right? You from the hotel side, one person is assigned. He doesn't know anything about IT. He knows only the IT stands for information technology. Right? There is a problem. Or the hotel appoints a person who is very new to the organization. Actually, he doesn't know the operations of each and every department, right? He doesn't know thoroughly about the operations. මේ operations ගැන හුඟක් දන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් එතකොට මෙයා දෙන්නේ requirements මොනවාද? පොඩි requirements ටිකක් දෙන්නේ system එක හදන්න එන කට්ටියට. මෙන්න මේවා තමයි වෙන්න ඕනි කියලා. Right? Then there will be a problem. So it's next one is capturing user requirements. As I said, right? If you appoint a person who doesn't know about these operations thoroughly, he will give these are the requirements. These requirements should be there in the new system. Then the IT people will develop a system according to the requirements explained by this person. ඒ හින්දා ළමයි මේ එක්කෙනෙක්ගේ විතරක් ගන්නෙ නෑ. ඔයගලන්ට methods වගේක් කිව්වා නේද? අපි discuss කරානේ requirements capture කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා through the documents, by referring documents, right? And talking with the people, that means interviewing the people of the organization, for example hotel, right? Then investigating the existing system, right? Doing a research. So using several methods, this IT people, system analyst, is going to find the requirements of the system. But if he fails to capture some kind of a requirement, අපි හිතමු front office එකේ guest කෙනෙක් ආවා, මෙයා හිතන්නේ passport number එකම දාන්න ඕනේ කියලා. සමහරට system එක දැන් හදන ඒ විදිහට. Local guest කෙනෙක් ආවොත්, right? Local guest, he doesn't have a passport. He can produce the identity card. So the system must be able to enter a user, a guest, with the identity card number also. So that requirement is not there because it has not been captured by the system analyst at the analysis stage. ඔන්න වගේ ප්‍රශ්න වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් system එක ඔක්කොම හදලා ඉවරනාම ළමයි වෙනසක් කරනවා කියන්නේ හරිම අමාරු වැඩක්, right? In this SDLC, system development life cycle, you have to find the requirements at this stage. System analysis stage එකේ capture කරන්න ඕනේ. මේ stage එකේ capture කරලා requirement එක miss වෙලා තියලා හදාගත්තොත් යන cost එකයි. If you find there is a mistake in the system analysis stage, you find that mistake at this stage, implement stage, right? It will take about 6 times of the cost to recover that fault, right? මෙතනදී වියදම් වෙන මුදල වගේ අඩුම ගානේ 6 ගුණයක්වත් වියදම් වෙනවා. පස්සේ ස්ටේජ් එකකදී දැක්කොත් එහෙම මෙන්න සිස්ටම් එකේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා කියලා. ඇයි ස්ටුඩන්ට්, right? If you miss any requirement, right? Then you find you have missed a requirement at this stage, implement stage. Then when you inform the information technology team, they have to come from here, right? Again, they have to capture the requirement correctly. Then again, they have to design, right? Because the new feature should be there. Then again, develop and again test, right? So that's why I said it takes 6 times of cost if you find a error compared to finding error at this stage. And the system analyst ගතේ තියෙනවා හරිම ලොකු responsibility එකක් හරියට capture කරගන්න requirement. Then another one is using standards, right? The different technical standards may be there. Then different kind of requirement capturing standards may be there. Hotel standards may be there. So therefore, using standards is another problem. Then the other one is choosing design approach. Students, in computer world, right, application development paradigm, there may be different types of approaches to make a system. System එකක් හදන්න ළමයි එක ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. එකම ක්‍රමයක් නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ. එක methods තියෙනවා මේ IT world එක ගත්තාම, IT industry එක ගත්තාම ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිතන්න එපා system එකක් හදන්න ගියාම එකම ක්‍රමයයි තියෙන්නේ කියලා. ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේ software development life cycle එකේ හරි ඒ stages ටික තියෙනවා එහෙම. right? එහෙම තියෙද්දි උනත් ඒ ටික කරන විදිය වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. සමහර ඒවායි තියෙනවා stages උනත් සමහර stages එකට combine වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. right? ඉතින් ඒ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ approach එක ඔය දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැක්ක system development life cycle approach එකේ වගේ one by one යන්නේ නැහැ. step by step යන්නේ නැහැ. right? එක step එකකින් සමහරලාට ඊළඟ step එක skip කරලා පයින්නවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් සමහරලාට එක steps දෙකක් එක ළඟ iterate වෙනවා. කැරකිලා තමයි ඔක්කොම ටික ඉවර වෙලා ඊළඟ stage එකට යන්නේ. ඉතින් එතකොට different approaches තියෙනවා මේ හරි එක තෝරගන්න එක challenge එකක්, problem එකක්. Then the other one is coding programs. Coding means, students, you have to, by using a computer language, you have to write the things, right? If you want to develop housekeeping module, how you can create? First of all, you have to select a computer language. By using that particular language, you have to write the things, write some statements. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට එකක් පෙන්නන්නම් මේ DSS lesson එකට කරපු ළමයින්ගේ අද තිබ්බ හින්දා. Give me 1 second. Right. If I show it again. Because I had paused the recording, so therefore I am going to show it again. Okay, this is an application. If I say it again, this is a computer application written by C++. C++ is a programming language, right? By using C++ programming language, I have written this one. Then if I run this program, right, it will ask to, the program asks me to enter 4 values. If I enter 4 values and press enter key, right, it will calculate the total and display, right? To make this kind of a computer application, you have to write like this by using a computer programming language. Right, you have to write like this. Okay, then it says that coding programs, right? You know, it's very difficult, right? For a big program, there are maybe 1,000, 10,000 lines of coding maybe there, so it's a bit difficult. Sometimes there may be errors, coding errors තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරියට ලිව්වේ නැත්නම් ඒව හොයන්න ගියාම පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරුයි. ඒක ඇවිල්ලා problems in system development. Then there may be testing programs, right? Testing problems may be there. Then finally, because you have to test module wise, unit wise, integration testing, right? Then testing programs is a difficult one, and there may be sometimes problems because it is difficult to find sometimes where the problem is. Then the other one is maintaining system, right? Because you have to allocate some people to maintain the system. You have to allocate some budget to maintain the system. So then these are some problems in system development, right? Okay, then actually this is the end of your lecture.